Gesenkte Sau at Erlebnispark Tripsdrill was an important roller coaster for both the park and manufacturer. For Tripsdrill, it was their first major roller coaster. For Gerstlauer, it was their first ever roller coaster. Both Tripsdrill and Gerstlauer grow immensely after the success of Gesenkte Sau, and in this review, find out why the quality ride experience of this coaster was a big contributor. Hubert Gerstlauer got his start in the 1980s producing electric and pneumatic equipment for Schwarzkopf. When Schwarzkopf went bankrupt in 1992, Gerstlauer continued to fabricate Schwarzkopf's rides and provide replacement parts. But in 1998, Gerstlauer decided to start manufacturing their very own roller coasters, and this German manufacturer built a bobsled coaster for Tripsdrill. But a Gerstlauer bobsled is much different than most other bobsled coasters out there. A Gerstlauer bobsled is essentially a wild mouse coaster on steroids. You have the familiar hairpin turns, but you also have bank turns and helixes for variety. Gesenkte Sau is one of Tripsdrill's most popular rides. It sported a 45 to 60 minute wait the day I visited. The park was constantly dispatching cars, but each one only seats up to 4 riders. While the queue was long, the first half was scenic, traveling between giant hedges, and you get some solid views of the coaster. Gesenkte Sau is a beautiful ride because of how it interacts with the greenery, and the green color palette was deliberately selected to blend in with nature. Then the second half of the queue lies indoors with some theming, as you pass some sledding paraphernalia and a few characters, which makes sense because the name literally translates to fast rider or fast driver in English and is referring to a sled race. The cars are colorful sleds and riders are seated in 2 rows of 2. Everyone gets their own individual lap bars, but the employees don't actually check your restraint. Well, physically that is. The ride op just spot checks your restraint from the operating booth. That's the type of freedom you'd never get in America. Once dispatched, you head up the 52.5 foot or 16 meter tall lift hill. At the top, you twist downwards and to the right. The drop doesn't have much force to it, nor does the upwards helix that follows, but thankfully the coaster improves from here. You then traverse a series of hairpin turns. These sharp, unbanked turns offer decent laterals, and I also like the visuals, as you're mere feet from the park's log flume, and you also circle around the towers of a castle. You then enter that very castle briefly yourself. You pass through a mid-course brake run that doesn't slow you down, and then you navigate the most forceful part of the ride. You have this fun downwards helix that pulls some decent positive G's, and at the end of it, you shoot through the castle yet again, and then you navigate an upwards helix this time that also goes in and out of that castle. You have all sorts of near misses during this part of the ride. The second helix, while faster, is a little milder in terms of force though. After cruising through a mid-course that again doesn't slow you down, you hit the best part of the ride, a series of bunny hills. I love how the 2 hills are terraformed to the land and surrounded by flowers. It's a beautiful visual. You get weak floater airtime over both these hills, and you pop out of your seat yet again as you rise up into another mid-course brake run following the sequence of elements. You then navigate a 360-degree downwards helix. This one is small, but it has some moderate force to it. That's immediately followed by a tamer 360-degree upwards helix that leads into the brake run. This ends the 1,575 foot or 480 meter long coaster. While the initial and final elements of this coaster aren't special, everything in the middle is good and head and shoulders above most wild mouse coasters. And the ride tracks very smoothly, which is quite impressive given it was a manufacturer's first attempt at a coaster, and the ride is also 2.5 decades old. So what would I rate Gesenkte Sau? I would give this coaster a 7 out of 10. This coaster offers a diverse and enjoyable ride experience. You have laterals on the hairpin turns, decent force on some of the helixes, and a little airtime on the bunny hills. And the entire layout is filled with great visuals as you're either rushing past gorgeous gardens or zipping through that aforementioned castle. This is definitely one of the best wild mouse coasters out there. It's no surprise that Gerstlauer cloned this layout at least once in Thor's Hammer at Gerstlauer Summerland, and then went on to build more bobsled coasters. This was also the springboard ride that gave Gerstlauer the footing for bigger coasters down the road. This ride was also important for Tripsdrill because it started a 2-decade stretch of them adding more thrill rides to the park. So those are my thoughts on Sengte. What are your thoughts on this Gerstlauer bobsled? Do you agree it's one of the better Wild Mouse coasters out there? Let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.